Good morning, my friends, and welcome back to the channel. As of this recording, it is August 21st, 2025, and it is officially 8 days until Halloween Horror Nights opens. For anyone who does not know, they take the Red Coconut Club that is here on City Walk and they turn it into the Dead Coconut Club for Halloween Horror Nights. And there's always a theme, and that's going to be the theme this year. I don't know too much about it yet, but as soon as I know more, you'll know more. It's usually really well themed and well decorated. There's usually a bunch of drink specials, great music. They always have a DJ, maybe some singers. They did last year at least, I believe. It's definitely worth checking out if you're ever in town for Halloween Horror Nights, or if you're in town during Halloween Horror Nights, because it is free to just walk in and look around at it. You don't have to have a ticket for Halloween Horror Nights to enjoy it. Unfortunately, I cannot be here on opening day as much as I wish I could. I have a 14-month-old at home and it just isn't in the cards this year. But I will do my very best to bring you all the news I possibly can. And today we are going to go through and see everything that has been put up and what you can expect from Halloween Horror Nights this year. Obviously, we have to start off with the front area. I am so glad that they're not only including this front area this year, but they are also extending it down into Minions Land. The last couple years they have not included Minions Land, I think because it's more of a kid-friendly area, but HHN is not kid-friendly, 13 and up at least. So they are extending it into Minions Land this year and not opening any of those rides. So as you can see, next to VillainCon and the Minion Mayhem, we have the start of Scare Zone. I believe it's going to be the main Scare Zone with the gargoyle theme. A lot of things are covered right now, which, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. You don't want people messing with stuff. But man, does it look cool. That's one thing I love about Universal is you cannot deny that they go into so much detail making these things. This was a little bit of a mystery. The thing at the top kind of makes me think it's going to be a gargoyle of Terrifier, which would be kind of interesting, but I guess we'll see. On a completely random note, if you've ever seen this popcorn stand and thought, banana popcorn, my gosh, that sounds terrible, don't sleep on it. It is actually so freaking good. It doesn't really taste a whole lot like banana, but it is very sweet. So if you've got a sweet tooth like I do, I would suggest giving it a try. Looks like they're going to have Fanta out again this year. They had it last year. It was pretty good. Not mad about it. Now, as of this recording, they just released the menus last night, I believe it was, for all of the stands. And it looks really, really good. This one, I believe, is going to be the WWE one. We have the number 33 one. Now, the last time I was here, this was all out already. These cars, obviously the nod to BuzzCon, gotta love that. But they have added all of the toxic sludge, so that's new. Excited for that. There's a lot of it. And this is just one part. It's all over. Trying not to get as many people as I can in here. How cool. So detailed. I love it. Right now we're inside the Mummy gift shop, and it is going to be part of a tribute store for Halloween Horror Nights. I feel like that's going to make leaving Mummy, the ride, a little bit chaotic just because it is a very tight squeeze. But I mean, it's Universal. Like, they know what they're doing. So we'll see how it goes. Obviously, I don't know, but we will see. They are also including the arcade that was next door. It's closed off right now because it's not ready yet, but I think it's supposed to be quite a few rooms from my understanding. Rumor has it, aka Twitter, that it's supposed to be quite a few rooms. So I'm curious to see, just because I've never seen the arcade without arcade games. So I want to see what the setup's going to be like. I will take you along with me as soon as we find that out. If you haven't seen it yet, it is all over Twitter, but I'll go ahead and show you just so you can see. We have some awesome merch in the Mummy shop. Let's see here, both of these. And then of course we've got the Five Nights at Freddy's, just the typical Halloween Horror Nights on the back. And then there's this one for Freddy's, just that on the back. I know it looks like it in the video, but it is not completely black. It does have a little bit of brown to it. Maybe you can see it right there. There we go. Of course, we've got the Terrifier. There we go. Here we've got, there we go. We've got the Blumhouse stuff coming in. That looks really good. More Terrifier. And then of course you got tiny little t-shirts and tiny little hoodies for the Five Nights at Freddy's little lovers and your family. They did just come out with the all house shirt. I think it looks really nice. I really like the addition of the gargoyle at the top. I believe he is going to be the icon this year. They haven't honestly really talked much about it, but judging on the entrance and of course the shirts, I would say that it probably is the case. I love the way it came out. They have a lot of good looking stuff this year. And then of course they have the stained glass that they've been hinting at all season. They released each one of these one by one as they came out with a new house, and it looks really nice. The front of the sweater just has logo, and then the actual stained glass is the front of the t-shirts. I just had to go catch a ride on Mummy. It is just too darn hot out here, but for a single rider, it is a walk-on, so why not, right? All right, back to the regular scheduled programming. So I am now next to the arcade, or formerly known as the arcade, and they have changed the lettering from arcade to tribute store. I know they can't do a ton with the front of the building just to keep the look of the area, but I'm hoping that the inside is really impressive, because for the 10-year anniversary of tribute stores, I'm a little bit bummed if this is all that it's gonna be. That's just, I told you I'd keep it honest, and that's my honest opinion on it. Here's more of the toxic sludge appearing. I actually had a friend of mine see these these little kiosks driving through town, because I live in Orlando, and sometimes at night that's just kind of what you see going down the highway. So we're just going down the alley here. Looks like they added quite a bit of the toxic sludge. Here's Nom Nom. If you ever did any of the hiding around Universal before they got rid of it, that was a known place to put little trinkets and stuff. It was a lot of fun. I miss it a lot, but I get it. There's, you know, a couple bad apples ruined it for everybody. But anyway, I'm one of those people that, if you don't already know me, of course, I know a few people that I know are starting to follow me on here. I tend to ramble on a little bit, and I am working on it, especially with starting this channel. I know you don't want to just sit here and listen to me ramble on and on about meaningless shit, excuse my language, stuff. So I am working on it, but it is just who I am, and I'm being honest with you. All of this starting to get set up. This is going to be one of the big main bars. There's no menus up yet, but like I said, they just released that stuff yesterday. So I'm not expecting to see it until closer to opening night, which is next week, and I cannot freaking believe it. We've got Mel's here. That is, of course, Mel's die-in during HHN. You gotta represent. I will try to find some. I haven't had any luck finding any yet, but they have some really awesome merch for Mel's this year. So right now we're gonna go into the 5 and Dime, and hopefully they have some of that merch that I can show you. Okay, the fans are kind of cute, even though I know the movie's not exactly cute. The fan's pretty cute. Can't forget the adult onesie. Love that. Some sweatpants. It is 120 degrees here though, so I don't know how I feel about that. That's pretty awesome. Here we go. This is stuff that I'm seeing for the first time as well. This is stuff that they haven't had out until very, very recently. Don't be that guy. I'm usually not a fan person, but these actually look really nice this year. That's pretty sick. Awesome. We have, there we go. Interesting choice of t-shirt, but to each their own. That looks cool. Nope, we already saw that one. Unfortunately, no Mel's stuff, which I'm quite surprised since it's across the street almost from Mel's, but that's okay. We will keep looking. And it's also, if for some reason I can't find it for you, there are definitely some others that have covered the Mel's die-in merch. It is so cool this year. This is just a personal opinion. I think they should open up for a makeup show during HHN. It would be another show that would draw in some crowds because the lines just get more and more ridiculous every year. And I know it's not a huge theater, I'm well aware, but it's a good show that they can run pretty often, and it also ties in with the theme. Just my opinion. Now we are approaching the Crazy Cat Lady of Crooked Lane. This is definitely the scare zone that has the most stuff out so far. And man, does it look awesome. I have yet to find Little Boo in these pumpkins. Whether he's here or not, I don't really know. But if someone does know and has found him, please let me know in the comments. I would love to get an eye on him. That has a whole story of the cat lady and how she gets her victims. And then the big ball of yarn here. It's pretty awesome. And then of course at the end here we have her house, which I cannot wait to see in use during HHN. That's gonna look awesome. Couldn't tell I'm a huge HHN nerd, but to each their own, right? And if you look in the windows, you can see their cats. Also, hello. Love the detail. They never use the Simpsons land for any scare zones or any HHN stuff. I guess just they more than likely have some kind of contract that they can't. I don't know. That's just speculation for myself. They do, however, have a food truck set out right before Simpsons Land. And for those 21 and up that come to HHN, honestly, you can't beat an ice cold Duff beer to walk around HHN. So even though they don't do anything decorative with the Simpsons area, you can't go wrong with stopping in and grabbing a beer from there. Not a sponsor, just stating facts. Actually, I stand corrected. It does look like there is going to be a house entrance, possibly through there, or maybe they're using the Simpsons queue. Huh, I stand corrected. If you've gotten this far in the video, tell me which haunted house are you looking most forward to? Me personally, I had to think about it for a second. As much as I hate the movie, because I'm not a gore person, I think I'm looking forward to Terrifier the most. Specifically because, and this is still a rumor, but there are going to be two paths for Terrifier. Either the dry path or the bloodbath path, which according to the people of Twitter, I honestly don't know the handles. I think there's been a few. I apologize. I do try and give credit where credit's due, but somebody said that it is equivalent to front row of the Jurassic Park River Adventure, which for a haunted house that isn't supposed to be wet, well, you might need a poncho. I'm looking forward to it. Which I can't say that I'm looking forward to, though, seeing Art the Clown just randomly throughout the park. I feel like that's gonna freak me out quite a bit. The only things left to cover is they are bringing back Nightmare Fuel this year again. I like the show, but I can't say I'm super thrilled about it. But I'm also one that's a stand for bring back Bill and Ted. So we'll see. I'm hoping they do something a little bit different with it instead of the same old magic tricks and, you know, people dancing up on stage and things like that. It's great. It's just, I think they need a little bit of a change. The exciting thing this year is, though, that they are bringing back the Lagoon Show, which will really help with some crowds, especially now that Rip Ride Rocket is going to be out of commission. For those that don't know, the Lagoon Show was destroyed a few years ago from a hurricane. All of the electrical stuff in the lake was destroyed, and it took a while for them to restore it, and it finally got finished. And they did a summer show last year, and we thought they would do an HHN show last year, and for some reason they didn't. I'm not sure what was up with that. And then they did a summer show again this year, and they finally announced that they were doing an HHN show. So I am very excited about that, because I know the one that they did when The Weeknd was a house was really good. So it is definitely worth it. If you only have one night at HHN, like I might have two, I don't know, we'll see. Do the Lagoon Show. I promise you will not be disappointed. That pretty much covers everything right now. I believe we are going to come back one more time before HHN starts so that we can get a final look at everything before the chaos begins. I'm very excited about it. Next HHN video, we're going to go over some more menu items and hopefully be able to show you what to expect, what kind of options they're going to have. I want to go over if they're going to have any options for vegetarians and gluten-free and different allergens, things like that. I want to make sure to include everybody in these videos. So stay tuned for that. Until then, make sure to subscribe and like the video, and I love y'all. Peace. Psych, I found the metal stuff. I just think it needs its own moments. That's all I'm saying. Hello. Are you kidding me right now? That's a need right there. It's actually the first time I've seen this one. That's awesome. Anyway, I just felt that needed its own little moment there. And so until next time, bye.